Hello, everybody, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today, I'll be talking about something you probably engage with every day: social media. More specifically, how to improve your relationship with it. Yes, you have a relationship with social media, similar to how you have a relationship with people. It is a powerful force that shapes your mindset and influences your everyday life. So, therefore, it is important that you have a healthy relationship with social media, one with clear boundaries. Boundaries in a relationship is very important because it determines what is okay and what's not okay, so you can protect your well-being. Social media is clearly something that can influence your well-being greatly, yet there's not that many people who have set clear boundaries with the way they use social media or for how long they spend on their devices. And let's all be honest, social media isn't what it used to be a few years ago. These days, social media is a lot more evolved and a lot more dangerous, especially because of the rise of short content after TikTok became popular during COVID times. Social media was always designed to grab your attention and hold it for as long as possible. But these days, the algorithms and the programming of the social media apps have become so advanced that they are experts at keeping you scrolling and commenting and clicking for hours before you could even notice how much time has already passed. And that comes at the expense of your precious time and your precious mental health. Yes, social media is quite dangerous, but I'm not here to preach to you to never ever use social media again, because I still use social media on a daily basis, just not at the expense of my mental health or for hours and hours. Because I did not try to get social media out of my life, which would have been kind of impossible, because it's not necessarily something that I want out of my life. I more set healthy boundaries with it and became more aware of how much time I was spending on social media and what effect it was having on my mental health and my daily life. Boundaries are essential to ensure that you are the one in control and not the social media app's algorithm is the one controlling you. You must be in control of how, when, and why you use a social media platform at all times in order for it to be healthy. Now, you might believe, like many people, that you already are the one in control, that you have enough self-control and willpower to not let social media keep you scrolling for hours and hours. But actually, the truth is that not that many of us actually possess the willpower and the self-control to be in control of these algorithms that have been created by experts and psychologists. The technology has just become so advanced, especially with the help of AI these days, that you cannot win, and it is based in your biology. Social media platforms are designed to exploit the dopamine system in your brain. Dopamine, often called the feel-good hormone, is released every time you get a like, or you press like, or you engage in the comment section, or you watch a short video with some sort of stimulating content. These little bursts of dopamine put you in the state of a high that has you scrolling for 3 hours because you become addicted to those little hits of dopamine. You even get a little burst of dopamine when you get a notification because you feel like you are wanted. So someone is reaching out for you, even if it's just an email or a message or a notification that a video has been posted, you will immediately pay attention to it and click on it. It is just part of your biology. So that is why so many people are addicted to social media, some without even realizing it, because social media is using their biology against them. And because of dopamine, you feel good. So you think, okay, but how could anything be wrong? Isn't this good for me? Since social media apps are created to exploit the dopamine reward system, it creates this feedback loop of you scroll, you get rewarded immediately, and you repeat the behavior. And because you get so used to and addicted to instant rewards, you will have trouble doing other things that might take longer to give you a reward, such as studying or working, because you've become addicted to immediately receiving the reward. You become addicted to prioritizing things that give you short-term immediate gratification. rather than long-term goals that give you a reward after a long time that is actually much more meaningful than those short-term gratifications. Also, constant bursts of dopamine from likes, comments, and notifications can overstimulate your brain's reward system. This can lead to dopamine desensitization, which is where your brain requires an increasing higher level of stimulation to feel pleasure because it's just gotten so used to being stimulated instantly for hours and hours, which makes everyday activities less satisfying, even boring, and also leads to shorter attention spans. Apart from the dangers around dopamine, social media and having no boundaries for social media also have a lot of other dangerous consequences, which I'm sure you know about since a lot of people preach about it these days, but I'll quickly mention them. Social media can have an impact on your mental health. Of course, because on social media, people only show the highlights of their lives. And when perhaps you had a bad day, you might compare yourself to someone else's best day, which can lead to worsened mental health and even eventually to mental health disorders. Social media can also disrupt your sleep patterns and reduce your attention span. Being on social media a lot more than needed can increase your risk of being exposed to misinformation. And there can also be physical health consequences, such as the tech neck, which results from poor posture while looking on your phone, which can lead to chronic neck or back pain. Also, spending a lot of time on social media can lead to you feeling socially disconnected, since you spend more time on a platform where people focus on curating a perfect online image over real authentic connection. But in my personal opinion, the most dangerous and saddest consequence of spending hours on social media is the loss of your time. Time is very precious, and the older you get, the more you realize that. But that means it's usually already too late. When time passes by, there is no getting it back. A lot of people regret the way they have spent their time or not having spent time on more important things. I would not want you to look back and regret that you spent hours and hours on social media platforms when you could have rather made wonderful memories, installed healthy habits, or worked towards long-term goals. The instant gratification and feelings of pleasure you get from social media will not be worth it when compared to the gratification you get from achieving long-term goals. So I want you to think more about how you spend your time and if instant gratification is really worth your time. It is very important that you realize that time is very precious and it is not to be wasted. Now, when it comes to taking control of how you use social media and applying strategies and boundaries to keep your relationship with it healthy, the first step is to just become aware of why and how social media is dangerous, which I have talked about briefly. And then also to just keep in mind that you do not have to delete every single app or go offline forever, because that there is certain advantages of being on social media. You don't have to get rid of social media from your life, because I do want you to reap the benefits of being on social media. But I just want to also help you protect yourself from the danger of social media. One of the first strategies that you can apply to become more aware of how much time you actually spend on your device and on social media is to make use of digital well-being apps. Most phones these days come with built-in tools to monitor your screen time. So even if your phone doesn't have one, I'm sure that there are many that you can get from the app or Play Store. You can use it to set up daily app timers. So specific apps that you might use a lot more than you want to, you can set a specific and realistic goal for how long you want to use that app. And then you can apply that app timer. So when you're on the app, the digital wellbeing app will tell you there is 10 minutes left, and you become more aware that you have spent enough time on this app for today and it's time to do something else. The daily app timers are an excellent way to be reminded that you've spent enough time for today, and tomorrow is another day where you can spend more time on this app. For now, it's better to go do something else. And also, I recommend that you set a daily screen goal as well. Start big, but over time, when you notice that you can easily accomplish your screen time goal, try to make it less and less, so you can constantly improve, and you will be shocked at how much improvement you can make. I went from spending 8 hours on my cell phone to spending an hour on my cell phone. Right now, my daily goal is an hour. I don't always meet my goal, but I do most of the time, and it is incredible when you think that I used to spend 8 hours on my phone. So there is an example of how the digital well-being app can truly help you become more aware, set goals, and achieve them. I recommend that you not only set a daily goal and daily app timers, but also put the widget of the digital well-being app on your home screen, so you can see right away that that is how much time you have spent on your phone today. Otherwise, before you know it, you might have gone over your daily goal. And then I also recommend that you just do a social media app cleanse. Just look at all the social media apps you have on your phone. Maybe there's an app that you even forgot about, or you forgot why you downloaded it, and just review why you have these apps. Are they really that valuable? You have to truly debate, if you deleted this app, would it really have that big of an impact on your life? If you have more than one app for the same function, for example, you have 3 apps that provide you with long video content, then I recommend you delete 2 of them and you keep your favorite one. I hope that one is YouTube. So you're going to have to be honest. Do you use these apps because you are bored, or because everyone else uses this app? This app is popular. Most people have this app, so you feel that you must have it. That's not true. You can decide which apps you want and which apps are really valuable for you. It doesn't matter what other people think about the apps. You must decide, are they truly valuable for you, and do they really serve you a proper purpose? If not, delete them. Another strategy I advise you to apply is to turn off unnecessary notifications. One of the biggest distractions we have in this digital world of us is notifications. You're doing something and then you hear that notification sound and you click on it, and before you know it, you spend half an hour on your phone because there was 10 more notifications for you to check out, and you lost control of your time. So I want you to really look in your settings app at the list of apps that you have given permission to send you notifications. And I want you to decide, is it really that important that I get a notification from this app? Sure, it is important that you get a notification about emails, for example, but is it really that important you get a notification that your friends made a post on Instagram? Because you can just, when you have the time, open Instagram and then you can see your friend's post. So is it really worth it to keep on Instagram's notifications? Just something for you to think about. I want you to debate every single app in your settings. I want you to debate, is it really worth it that I allow this app to send me a notification that could disturb me while I'm trying to do something else, something that is more important in the long term, rather than me checking that post the second it was posted? Because, in fact, if you don't immediately attend to a new post or a new video, or immediately reply to a comment, your life will still go on, I promise. It won't be the end if you are a few minutes late. In fact, it will be much better in the long term, because you will be much less distracted, which means your attention span could improve and your ability to focus on the task at hand, which not that many people have these days because of social media. I have seen the phone of a friend of mine, which had almost 100 notifications, and I just thought that was such a scary sight, because I just imagined that if that was my phone, how overwhelming would that be? I would feel that I would need to get to every single one of those notifications, and it's like it's the cycle that never comes to an end. So I want you to break free from that burden, because these days I only receive about 30 notifications at most, And usually it would be something that is actually worth me getting distracted and giving attention to it. So I really recommend that you turn off those notifications if it's not that important, because it will really benefit you in the long term. Another strategy I highly recommend is to avoid short video content, because short videos like YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels, and TikTok videos are just so dangerous. They are especially addictive because they deliver those quick dopamine bursts. And each video is brief, it keeps your brain stimulated and craving for more. And it's just so easy. You just sit down and you scroll. Just a little movement of your finger is enough to give you another instant boost, another instant burst of pleasure. So it is just so dangerous because you can so easily spend hours watching TikTok videos. Those platforms just give you short videos forever. There's always another video. You will never reach the end. So that's why you can scroll and almost never really stop. So I highly recommend that you try to avoid it. It's rather better to turn towards more longer content, such as YouTube videos or a movie or a Netflix drama series. Or you can watch compilations on YouTube of TikTok videos rather than being on TikTok. I just think that it is better for your attention span, and it's a little bit less dangerous and addictive than those short videos. So if you're really serious about gaining control and experiencing the long-term benefits of having a healthy relationship with social media, I really recommend that you try to avoid short videos most of the time. And if that means that you have to delete apps such as TikTok, then do it. Future you is going to thank you. And now, an important thing to keep in mind is that you have to be patient with yourself. To set healthy boundaries with social media and to break an addiction is not easy. You're going to slip up from time to time. I mean, I still slip up. A few days ago, I accidentally spent 3 hours on Instagram watching useless videos. But that's okay. You must be able to forgive yourself and realize that these programs and these platforms has been designed to use your reward system against you. So do not be angry at your own biology. Just forgive yourself and keep trying. But by all means, do not give up just because you slipped up one time. And just know that over time, it's going to get easier. You're going to achieve that goal and you're going to feel more motivated, and then you will set a new goal and you will feel even happier when you achieve the new goal that was even more difficult than the previous one. And keep in mind that everyone's journey and everyone's boundaries and relationship with social media is unique. So the advice that other people might give you when it comes to spending less time on social media and gaining control, it might not be that applicable or helpful to you. This is you and your relationship. So your journey is unique and you must experiment and see what works best for you. Also remember, this change of your relationship with social media is not going to take place overnight. You can't just set a time goal of wanting to spend only an hour on your phone per day when you are spending on average 8 hours on your phone per day. That is not realistic and you won't be able to achieve it, and then you'll feel bad about it. Be realistic and remember that it's going to take a lot of time, and I mean months, but it will be worth it at the end. Remember, long-term goals are much more worth it than short-term goals. And even if you do improve your relationship with social media and you spend less time on it, it's important to remember that once an addict, always an addict does have some truth to it, also when it comes to social media. So even if you have managed to spend less time on it, it doesn't mean you should just ignore your daily app timers or your screen goal. And if you have decided, for example, to delete a certain app because you were spending too much time on it, it's best to keep that app deleted and not download it again. Because even if you have improved your relationship with social media, you can easily fall right back into old habits and accidentally scroll for 3 hours without even noticing. It's important to remember that those programs and those platforms will just keep getting better and better at holding your attention and stealing your time. So even if you improve, it doesn't mean that you can just slack and not pay attention to any of the new tools and rules you have set for yourself. By becoming more aware, taking the necessary steps and applying the necessary strategies, you can absolutely transform your relationship with social media into one that is more healthy and balanced, one that will actually benefit you. I truly believe that you can, and I do not want you to give up, even though it will get hard sometimes. There is many people like me who is proof that you can absolutely have a healthy relationship with social media and spend no more than an hour on your cell phone per day. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in my next video. Until then, take care of yourself and keep striving to be the best version of you.